Well, next up, we've got the very, very useful Joe Calzaghe from Newbridge in South Wales, tipped as Britain's brightest hope for championship honours in the future. His opponent, very tall, Nick Manners from Leeds. Nick Manners, 13 fights. He's won 9 of them, lost 3, drawn 1. But notably, he stopped 8 in his 9 wins. But Joe Calzaghe, well, he's had a dozen, he's won them all, and stopped 11. The only man so far to have taken the distance was the cruiserweight Bobby Joe Edwards. Now a member of the Matchroom team, I do believe. So there's Manners then. One of 2 fighting brothers, the other one being Colin, who's a bit shorter and punches very hard as well. Well, here comes the man. Joe Calzaghe made a bit of modern-day history, being the only man to have won 3 ABA championships consecutively at different weights this century, I do believe. Very useful fighter, real handful, managed by Terry Lawless and Mickey Duff. ABA welterweight champion in 91, light middleweight champion in 92, a middleweight champion in 93. That takes some doing, believe me. And of course, last time out, you'll remember that win he had over Tyrone Jackson, who was as tough as old boots before he was eventually beaten in the 4th. And Calzaghe, well, he's using this one as a warm-up for his British title fight at the Royal Albert Hall on the 28th of October against Stephen Wilson from Scotland. Interesting match. But Joe Calzaghe, well, real handful. Trained by his father there. His father of Italian descent, his mother's Welsh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a super middleweight contest at 12 stone 2 over 8 3-minute rounds. Introducing in the red corner with the yellow shorts and the black trim, with a professional record of 9 wins and 1 draw from 13 contests. 8 inside the distance from Leeds. Will you welcome Nick Manners?
So there then is Nick Manners from Leeds.
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the blue corner with the all-black shorts, with a record of 12 wins from 12 contests, 11 inside the distance. The former ABA welterweight, junior middleweight and middleweight champion from Newbridge. Will you welcome Joe Calzaghe? At the weigh-in today, Manners scale 12 stone, 1 1/4 pounds. Calzaghe 12 stone and 2 ounces. Your referee Larry O'Connell and your timekeeper Nick White, and this is 8 3-minute rounds.
So Calzaghe then just 2 ounces over the 12 stone limit of the super middleweight division. Referee for this one, himself a very useful amateur, Larry O'Connell, once beat Dick McTaggart. I think McTaggart beat him another 2 times, but we'll say that one a bit quietly. So, round 1 then of a scheduled 8. And without wishing to cast aspersions on the abilities of Nick Manners, I'm afraid I can only see one winner here. Straight away, Calzaghe starts digging in those lefts to the body. And regardless of how many people think that Calzaghe is one of Britain's hottest prospects, he's got his detractors as well. Some people don't rate him at all. And of course, lovely jab there from Calzaghe, perfectly timed. Of course, history will be the judge, ultimately. And these days, in case you don't know, all boxers in Britain wear the same weight of glove. They all wear 10-ounce gloves. Designed, of course, as a precautionary safety measure. I'm not too sure of the validity of that, but that's just a personal opinion, of course. So Manners then in the yellow trunks under fire here in round one, as was pretty well anticipated. Calzaghe's dyed his hair since we last saw him. Nice couple of jabs there from Manners. I think the most notable win for Nick Manners was a second-round knockout of one Marvin O'Brien, another Leeds fighter. Principally because O'Brien, known as a durable man, he doesn't often get KO'd, which is what Manners did to him. And it's a reasonable learning fight, I think, for Calzaghe. Flapping there a wee bit with those body punches. Well, a pretty dominant performance by Calzaghe in this opening round. It's going to be a 10-9.5 round for him. Of course, Britain still uses the old archaic half-point system.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Only UPS guarantees next day express delivery next morning.
Buenos días.
Across both Europe and America, or your money back.
Good morning.
Next day delivery to Europe, guaranteed next morning.
Bonjour.
Even next day to the USA, guaranteed by 10:30 next morning.
Morning.
You see, in our language, next day means next morning.
Buongiorno, signora.
UPS, as sure as taking it there yourself.
A top assassin.
So a bit of replay then from the end of round one. This one's scheduled for 8 rounds, and there are, there's the statistics. And you don't need me to repeat those, but one statistic you haven't got is the fact that Calzaghe is ranked number 4 in the super middleweight division in Britain, and number 33 by the Independent World Boxing Rankings in the world. Manners, incidentally, ranked number 18 in the world, but one division heavier, the light heavyweight division. So, there you've got it. And of course, Calzaghe these days having to give away natural weight to get the matches. And it does need a few rounds under his belt, I would suggest, for that warm-up for Stephen Wilson. That won't be an easy match.
Second out, round 2.
So into round 2 then of the scheduled 8. And this promotion is an amalgamation of both Matchroom and National Promotions, Mickey Duff and Barry Hearn. They have a new working partnership. Can only be, of course, be good for the game. Manners rangy enough to give Calzaghe a few things to think about, and obviously strong enough like that to... well, did Manners throw him over? Did he knock him over? I don't think he put him down. Just an untidy throw, I think. And Calzaghe there getting the second warning from referee O'Connell for punching on the break. And, well, to be honest with you, Calzaghe not looking $1 million at this stage. Last fight was in York in July of this year. So about 3 months inactivity. Shouldn't really have blunted him that much. Oh, nice right there from Manners. Good punch. And a long left as well. But Calzaghe has got tremendous self-belief. And now really whacking in the shots there. Joe Calzaghe's felt Manners' power, and he just wants to get rid of this man now, but proving slightly difficult for him. Manners is a rather awkward opponent who does know his way around the ring. Oh, nice left there from Calzaghe. Well, that's another round, I think, for Joe Calzaghe, but to be honest with you, some interesting moments there for Manners. Right, another 10-9.5 round. So 19 points for Manners then after 2 and 20 points for Calzaghe. I've got a feeling, although I've often criticised the British Boxing Board of Control, I've got a feeling that they are going to come into line with the rest of the world, and of course Europe, on their scoring system. We may also get to persuade them yet to introduce some sort of foul system as well, where points can be deducted in the event of a persistent type of infringement.
10 seconds.
Or even a serious one-off infringement. And of course we don't have that currently in British rings. If a fighter's persistently fouling, there's nothing the referee can do about it. He might make a mental note of it and not score the round in his favour. But of course the crowd have no way of knowing when the score's rendered at the finish. It's just exactly what the referee's done. And I think that they should have a mechanism in place. But there you are. That's, again, another personal opinion. As action continues here in round 3. Calzaghe looks like he's taken the first two, but Manners getting into that second round a wee bit. Well, that's better now from Calzaghe, getting Manners, but not getting caught in return. The only man I can think of who beat Manners inside the limit was a man who went on to become British super middleweight champion, Ali Forbes, and he did it in 3 rounds. And Ali, a shorter man than Calzaghe, he likes to get very close and unload with lots of short hooks. And maybe that's just exactly what Calzaghe's trying to do here. So it looks like he's breaking Manners down a wee bit. And his body punch is hurt. Halfway through the third. And Manners, well, reduced to trying to protect himself now. And there'll be no surprise to see him hit the floor. Well, Calzaghe looks like he's softened him up sufficiently. But you never can tell with Manners. He does carry a big wallop. And it only takes one to change the course of a fight. It takes one to change the course of history. Of course, the one that always sticks to mind is the one that Buster Douglas pulled out of the fire to flatten Mike Tyson. Look what's happened since then. Oh, nice right there, full in the face from Joe. Working hard now, Calzaghe. And Manners not quite sure where the next punch is coming from. Well, it looks like the pressure's paying off because Manners now is wilting visibly. Although, that said, Calzaghe's starting to tire as well as a result of all that hard work he's done. And you've got to be so fit to be a fighter, especially one who likes to throw lots of punches. Of course, you can be fit enough to run 20 miles, but boxing fit's a different kind of fitness. Big round there for Calzaghe, but I won't make it a 10-9 round, just a 10-9.5. So 3 rounds the difference then with 3 gone. Big thumping body shot there from Joe on the replay. Round 4 then.
Seconds out, round 4.
And Father Enzo there being very precise in his instructions. And I'd say that Calzaghe's got a pretty scientific approach to his boxing, and I think that's what his father was trying to remind him of. So, Nick Manners then in the yellow trunks. A bit of a punch bag in the third. Let's see what he can come up with here. Needs something to turn this one around, that's for sure. And Larry O'Connell, of course, is the sole arbiter in a British boxing ring when it's a British championship or less at stake. That's a nice jab there from Manners. In fact, he's the only judge, of course, when it comes down to a Commonwealth title fight, which I believe is going to change in the near future. 2 judges, I think, and a scoring referee, like in European title fights. But then again, you never can tell. Lovely left there from Manners. And those punches from Manners just whacking the arms of Calzaghe. Oh, lovely left there by Calzaghe. And switch to southpaw now from Manners. I don't think that's going to do him too many favours. Well, judge for yourselves, as I say, Ali Forbes, who went on to become British super middleweight champion, stopped Manners in 3. This is round 4. And there's no doubt that Manners is getting a bit of a battering, but he's still there. Which would suggest that Forbes is a harder puncher than Calzaghe. Referee O'Connell looking very closely at this. There's not a great deal coming back from Nick Manners, so... and, of course, referee O'Connell can see that he's beginning to breathe hard and throw a lot less. And he's under pressure. Well, he's in now. Well, referee O'Connell stopped it. And, well, although there's a shake of the head there from Manners, I don't really think the referee had much choice. So, 13-0. 12 inside the limit for the Welshman, Joe Calzaghe. That probably asked as many questions as it answered, to be honest with you. He didn't look to have the snap that I normally associate with him. Calzaghe, that is.
And ladies and gentlemen, in 2 minutes 20 seconds of round 4, the referee Larry O'Connell stopped the contest. Nick Manners being in no condition to continue. Ladies and gentlemen, 13 out of 30 now for Joe Calzaghe.
So there you are then, 13 out of 13. Well, Alan Hughes just rounding that one off. Of course, we've got a main event to come. So good performance there by Calzaghe. Racks up win number 13 on the spin. But we've got a British title fight coming next. Stay with us.